And we're going to meet Brian Brown with the Family Institute of Connecticut. Brian, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Good to meet you in person here.
Good to see you.
First, tell me about your organization. Where are you based? How many people work with you?
Well, we're based in Hartford. We're right down the street from the Capitol. We've got 3 full-time employees, 2 part-time employees, and we're down the street from the Capitol, and we're at the Capitol a lot. And our main focus is lobbying. We have a full-time lobbyist and director of operations, and myself.
Yeah. Tell me about the top issues for you on a year-to-year basis. What are the things that you deal with over and over again in Connecticut?
Well, like a lot of the states, the same-sex marriage issue is a huge issue in Connecticut. We were the first state to pass civil unions through the legislature without a court order. At that time, we had about 6,000 people come out to a big rally, one of the largest in state history. We had about 100,000 people sign our petition drive. And in the middle of all of this, they attached a defense of marriage statute to civil unions. So it was just a crazy time. It was 2 years ago. And we've continued to be very involved in that fight because just as we said at the time, civil unions was not the end game. Same-sex marriage was the end game. And so now we have a bill actually before our legislature for full same-sex marriage. So we are deeply involved in that, but we're also involved in a lot of other issues, religious liberty issues. There are attempts to force Christian hospitals to basically administer drugs that create abortions. We are very involved in the religious liberty fight, and we're also involved in parental rights. The HPV vaccine is a big issue, and we're involved in that. We have a bill before our legislature right now.
Tell me about how you work to influence outcomes. How do you work with the legislature? What other things do you do?
Well, we do have we are in New England, and so that means that we have to have realistic expectations. And we have a number of friends in the legislature that we've developed on both sides of the aisle. We have some very good Hispanic legislators from the inner city Democrats that are with us on all the key issues. And they have been very helpful. So we've worked really hard to create bipartisan relationships. And a lot of what we try and do is stop some of the worst stuff coming down the pike. Now, this year is very interesting because we do actually have 10 bills that we've supported and been behind, and for the first time those bills are coming up, getting hearings, and one of these is a parental notification bill. For the first time ever, we have a hearing on a parental notification bill in Connecticut, and that's a big step forward for us. So the way we work is we just try and, through reason and persuasion, talk to our legislators and also talk to their constituents and say, hey, do you know that your legislator doesn't want you to know that your 13-year-old is going in and having an abortion? And you can get a lot done. It's just what we get done is incremental, step by step.
One step at a time.
Yep.
When you look down the road, what's ahead for your organization?
Well, we're continuing to grow, and we're continuing to expand our what we're involved in. And one of the things coming up right now is, should the people of Connecticut have the right to have a direct vote on the issue of marriage? Our Constitution does not currently allow for direct initiative or referenda. And so we're involved with a coalition of groups, not just us, people from all sides of the spectrum who believe that the people should have a right to vote, not just on this issue, but on a number of issues. So we're going to be pushing that hard because I think the only way we're really going to protect marriage in the state of Connecticut is to get a direct vote on the part of the people. Our legislature isn't going to do it. So on the horizon, we're pushing the whole idea of democracy, of letting the people vote on these key issues. Again, we want to expand our influence at the legislature. We're looking to actually increasing our lobbying presence. And I think that's what we're going to see. More of the same, growing, getting more of a lobbying presence at the legislature, and also increasing our other activities. We do have a 501c4, which does a lot of the lobbying, but we also have a political action committee, and so that is also involved in electing good candidates.
These fights can take a lot out of a person. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you in the fight?
Well, I think that, again, we have realistic expectations. We don't think we're going to ban abortion in Connecticut tomorrow. It's not going to happen. It's an extremely liberal state. We've got to do things incrementally, step by step. And to tell you the truth, we vacated the playing field for the last 30 years. There really hasn't been a presence at the Capitol. The other side has controlled almost everything. And now we're there, and we're not going away. So I keep motivated by the fact that we wanted to create an organization that was going to be a voice for the family, and it was going to be there day in and day out. It wasn't going away. That was our first goal, and we're there. And now we want to increase our presence, grow the organization more, but we're not going away. So that in and of itself is a major victory. We have an organization that's there to stand up for families in a state like Connecticut. We've got, great people supporting us financially, praying for us, everything. So, viewing things in those terms, it's not hard to get to be motivated. There's something there that wasn't there before.
All right. Great chatting with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.